Bones, what's going on, brother? How are you?
Hey, Jill. I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm chilling as
Good.
usual, man. Good to
Excellent,
have you.
mate. Yeah,
Yeah,
thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
yeah, man, dude. I'm excited for this one. So, the goal of the show here is to actually get traders on traders that
Yeah,
know what they're talking about, traders that have a history of, just have a history of eyeing good projects and just being on the right side of the markets overall.
mm.
You
Yeah,
are one of those. And, this is a new
yeah.
segment that I want to build to the show. And the first person I thought about was you guys. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah,
wanted
yeah.
to get and just and the for the audience a little bit of context. Me and Bones, we trade together, right? We're
Yeah.
constantly in the mix on chain. There's a group of us that we just love trading together. We'll get some of the other homies up, but glad to get you on here, man.
Yeah,
glad.
absolutely. No, it's good to be here, mate. To be honest with you, I kind of have that feeling of like, why me? I don't see myself as sort of a special trader or anything. I guess in my eyes, the reason that I've been successful is because of the network that I've built up, and a lot of my success I'll definitely sort of base on that network. And I think that's only the fairest thing to say, that without the full network of traders and the people that we've got in our groups and all that sort of stuff, I probably wouldn't have done well as well over the last sort of 6 months that I have done. So yeah, I guess that's the first thing is your network is your net worth.
Literally took the words right out of my right
Mm.
out of my head. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I guess the best place to start here. You talked about the last 6 months.
yeah.
How long have you been in crypto? Like, talk to us a little bit about your journey and how all that
Yeah,
happened.
I kind of knew this question was coming, so I was thinking about this answer today to try and to shorten it down to something that's going to be sort of a little bit easier to digest. But I started in crypto like 2017. I think one of my friends sort of told me about XRP and all these other coins that weren't Bitcoin, but looked like they were going to make a decent return. So I think I was buying XRP at like, I don't know, 12 to 14 cents or something like that, and Ethereum quite cheap, but it never amounted to anything. I never held long enough and didn't really know what I was doing. Just everyone sort of sets up a Coinbase account, don't they? And they jump online and just kind of buy whatever they see. Um, when what really sort of changed for me was around 2020. Everyone was stuck at home, weren't they, during COVID? And one of my friends then told me to buy Tesla on a dip, and got me into trading properly through stocks. Um, from buying Tesla, I moved into sort of meme stocks. So I managed to catch the GameStop run from about $12 or $13, and I think that is kind of when I became addicted. Watching charts like pump crazy throughout a day, I was like, okay, like I need more of this. This is cool.
No, no, awesome. Honestly, same. So you've been in crypto since 2017. You've traded stocks. You've traded crypto.
Yes, yeah. I wouldn't like to say that I traded crypto back then. I think it's safe to say that I just kind of, I dipped my toe in the water thinking that I'd be a millionaire overnight. It never happened. And I just kind of left stuff in my Coinbase account. That time from after the GameStop incident, where everyone, well, not everyone, but, a lot of people that were kind of on that train made a good amount of money. That's when I started looking into crypto. So I guess it was 2021. I moved a lot of my gains into Zilliqa. I don't know if you remember Zilliqa, like the first
Yeah,
sharded blockchain or whatever.
yeah.
Um, I really liked that project at the time. I actually grew up in Singapore, so that project, I believe, was from Singapore. So it just kind of, when I saw it and saw that it were from Singapore, I was like, oh man, like this is speaking to me. I kind of started researching into it. Didn't really understand what sharding was or anything like that, but managed to kind of get my foot in the door then. And it's kind of since mid 2021, I guess, that I've been sort of properly trying to trade crypto.
Gotcha. So mid 2021.
Yeah.
Like I know you as like an on chain like wizard, right? Like you you are
I
you
appreciate
like
that.
dude, like when I for anyone that doesn't know, earlier this year, I met Bones because he did like this massive write up on a project that will remain unnamed, but has since like it was a project that I was so bullish on. I was like,
Yeah,
wow, this thing could
yeah.
actually be massive. And
Mm.
I was looking, and not many people were seeing the same thing. I was looking on
No.
that, looking for like some write ups and stuff like that to
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not really seeing any, but then I saw Bones and I'm like, holy crap. Okay. So I started following him and that all kind of led to this. So I guess what got you like trading on chain? Like what exactly?
So I guess again, speaking about network, there's a guy you'll be able to find him on my ex, Judge Sender. Think he's been in a couple of groups that we've been in over time. I know he's in the Spud Bros. So I met Judge on X, and I think one of the main things that I've tried to do throughout my like trading journey, so to speak, is try and not build a network in like in a fake way, like what's the right way to say it, is just try and contact people or get in contact with people that I think, okay, this guy's got some good things to say, he's got good systems in place and interesting things posted on his X. I'm like, okay, maybe I'll reach out to them and strike up a conversation and try and build that relationship. And I think that's been really important for me, and that's kind of how I've met a load of people that I don't have a huge following on X. That's grown gradually over time, but I think it's up to maybe just over 2,000 at the moment, which in the grand scheme of things isn't huge. But one of the main things I think I've done quite well is be able to build those relationships with people. And it was Judge Sender a few years ago, or maybe 18 months ago, that we were the same. I don't know. Do you remember Bad Mad Robots Metal that was on Polygon?
Yes.
Yeah. So I
I
managed
ate
to.
that one.
Yeah, that was another a great cook, and I think I managed to get in that quite early on. And I remember, as everyone does, they go onto X, they type in the ticker, and they just kind of see what people are saying about it. And I was like, oh, this Judge Sender guy, like, super bullish on this. So I messaged him, and I was like, hey, like, I'm in the same coin. Like, what do you think? What are your price targets? The usual sort of message. And we got speaking, and he's actually from the UK as well. And that guy is another underrated, like, absolute genius. Like, the guy has got some insane trading strategies, but he is a huge risk taker, and it's definitely paid off. And he's the guy that got me trading on chain. We were just talking about volume maybe 18 months ago or something, and we were looking at the volumes on daily AI runners, and the volumes are just insane. Like, we would dream of volume like that right now on Sol, and we're just not seeing it. But there was 10, 12, 15, $20 million a day in these AI coins, and we just were speaking on X, and it was like, okay, like, we're in the wrong place. We are totally in the wrong place. Like, there is no volume on ETH, there's no volume anywhere else. Like, what are we doing? And then we just gradually made that shift over to Sol, and it was him that was like, mate, like, sell everything you've got right now, like, just get off ETH and we'll go to Sol, and we'll just try and see what happens. And the kind of super cliche, but the rest is history.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Just for reference, guys, what was the all-time high for Bad Man Robots? You remember? Was it like 60
Oh,
or
yeah. I mean, I'm actually logged out of my trading view. I probably should have been better set up, but as you well know, I've got kids and all sorts going on, so it's sometimes trying to
oh
get
no,
set
you're
up for
good.
this was a bit of a nightmare. Bear with me 1 second, but I think, yeah, it was maybe around 60 cents or something like that, wasn't it?
Well, the reason I asked is just for the audience context. This was a thread that I wrote up about about Bad Mad Robots like back in like January 2024.
Mm,
Found it at a mill, and that was one of the early spots that one of my nice cooks on Polygon. I haven't
yeah.
done a lot on Polygon, but that
No,
was a nice little
I think
cook for
that
me,
was
bro.
that was kind of the only one that I hit on Polygon as well. I didn't really sort of pay much attention to anything else.
Yeah, no, that was awesome. I mean, what other like okay, let's back up a little bit. So you're now looking to trade on Solana, you're looking to
Yeah,
go where the volume is.
yeah.
I've seen like a ton of devs, a ton of traders. I've seen a ton of people basically fade. Why does this keep coming up? There we go. Basically fade the move to Solana. Basically saying, oh man, ETH utility, it's gonna come back. So like, what
Mm.
was the vibes like from other people? Were people joining you to go to Solana, or was it
You
just
know
you and
what?
Mhm.
Yeah, back then it was just me and Judge. Like the network was tiny at that point, and it was just kind of me and him in DMs together. And as I say, we realized we're both from the UK. Started talking more, and it was like, right, okay, like we just went. I think the first play that we had real success for. I think if you go on to Judge's profile. Like he's got his pinned tweet. He found that Colin. I don't know if you remember that. That was like one of the first Swarm agents, and I think he got into
Mhm.
that something like maybe 150, 200K or something, and it went to like 30, 40 million. So we both rode that together, and it was Spurg AI that was the big win, the first big win that we were on, that Bloomsburg AI,
Mhm.
and that was like the real eureka moment, I think, where I was like, damn, like this is insane. Like things just move so quick. If you can catch moves at the bottom and ride them into, I think Spurg went to like maybe 20 mil, and I think we got in at like 200K. Again, didn't ride the whole bag all the way up, because sometimes you see numbers and you're just like, I've got to sell this. But that was like kind of when it became quite obvious that we were in the right place. Seeing volumes like that Colin run was insane. So yeah, I mean, I'm trying to have a look at the Colin chart here. I think that's probably dead
I
right
don't
now.
think that one. I think it was one of the. So when did this move? When did this move take place? Like, was it like Q4 2024? Like right as things were
Yeah,
heating up?
I wanna say around Q4 2024, or maybe just a bit before that, and we were just trying to like dip our toes in the water, so to speak, and then try and get used to trading on Sol, because things move so quickly. I think that's one of the big transitions people need to make. Like if you come from ETH and any other chains and then move over to Sol, um, the speed of which things move, and the speed of like that narratives change, just getting used to that, like it was insane. I still am massively surprised sometimes how any of us are able to keep up, and I think a few people that are in the group are obviously trying to take a break at the moment. I've not been doing a ton of trading just because it makes your head spin. You need to have some time away from the screens and the charts. But sorry, I'm digressing. I apologize.
No, no. Honestly, no. I'm with you. Actually, just on that thought, um, we had a trader on the other day. I don't know if you're familiar with Trader Mercury. I was
I
just
don't
showing one of his
think I
charts
am.
up.
Yeah.
But another Chad that I've followed for a while, we had him on the show, a few weeks ago, and he was basically saying, like, I asked him, I'm like, all right, so like, what advice, based on what we've talked about, and I might ask you the same thing at the end of our conversation, but
Yeah.
I asked him the same thing. I was like, look, what should people be doing right now? And this is him. I asked him, what should people be doing right now? He basically said, take a break.
Yeah.
Like, nothing
Yeah.
is happening. Like, and honestly, right after that interview, I took a break. I was like, you
Yeah.
know what? I think he's right. I think I
Yeah.
just need to fully reset, clear my head instead of just like, continuing to go around in circles, trying to just like chase something that really isn't there yet.
Mm.
Um,
I
so
think
honestly,
there's.
that's yeah.
Sorry, you go, mate. You go.
No, 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 please, please.
I was going to say, I think in between all the noise on X, there is some golden nuggets of information from the right people, and it's just finding those bits of information. I think a couple of posts, and again, I can't remember where I saw them, but someone basically said sometimes the best trade is no trade, and I think
Mhm.
that is something that people need to realize, that this cyclical thing that we've got going on Solana at the moment, where we're just chasing new launches continually and going round and round in circles. And I don't know if you've seen the chart recently with the amount of online traders there are at the moment on Sol. It's like all-time lows nearly. So it's just the same people spinning the same sort of narratives, chasing each other's gains back to like the same wallet. So like I'll lose $100 one day to guy X, and then the next day I take it back from him, and it's just this like back and forth, and it just feels at the moment a little bit pointless. So that's maybe 3 or 4 days ago. I was like, you know what, like December's coming up, I've got kids, I've got family, like I'm busy all the time, I've been staring. That's exactly the chart I was looking at. you're a genius. But you know, I've got kids, I've got a family. Like I've spent the last 18 months online staring at charts, always on my phone, like for good reason, you know, trying to improve my life, trying to improve the life of my family and my kids and all that sort of stuff. But I think if, you know, look at that, it's outrageous.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen the we've seen the other charts, right? Of like the pump fund ROI, how like a ton of the coins don't really like get reach an all time high more after an hour of being live. Like most of them just kind
Yeah.
of die. We've seen
Yeah.
these charts before as well. Volume is and traders on Solana are going down. I
Mhm.
look at this and I'm like, I know I've been continuing to lock in like these last like 6-8 months, like kind of
Yeah.
enduring this downtrend.
Mm.
But what if this is a bottom signal? Have you ever like thought to yourself like,
Yeah.
can it get much lower than it is now?
I mean, that is a very good point. I it's an in like when the coin that shall not be named was popping off.
Yeah.
I managed to sort of like what at work I was like spoke to a lot of like in real life friends and the guys at work and stuff, and I was talking about crypto, and you know they were like keen to get on board. They were downloading like Phantom Wallet, they were, you know, trying to get money on chain, and they were buying that particular coin, and everyone was seeing gains and it was exciting and happy. They got burnt just like we all did, and it's that same old story now. It's like at that time I even said to myself, I remember coming home and speaking to my wife, and I was like, man, like this is a top signal in crypto. Like regular people like absolutely
Yeah.
clawing at trying to get online, and I was like, I need to like sell some, you know, I've made this mistake before, here we go. Like it's literally happening in front of my eyes. Like people are texting me and on WhatsApp and stuff like, how do I get on? I heard you like do crypto, and I heard it's like, you know, AI coins are popping off or whatever. So yeah, I mean, is this a bottom signal? I don't know. From the very small pool of people that I speak to in real life that have traded crypto, the vast majority of them are like, I'm not touching that thing ever again. All that's ever happened is I've lost money. So I don't know. I mean, again, that is a very small sample size, and I wouldn't like to base the rest of the world's decisions on like 12 people, but
Yeah.
it doesn't seem at the moment that there's much appetite for coming back on chain and losing money, you know.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. And I, man, that's crazy because I thought the same thing. And like Q1,
Yeah.
remember that video that was going around with like Frank D Gods and it was one of the popular
uh,
streamers. What's his name?
yeah.
Aiden Ross. And Aiden was
Yes.
like, "Wait, who's bigger than the U.S. president that launched the token? Like, who's bigger
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
him?" And
Yeah.
I was like, "Dang, I'm not gonna lie, it's a really good point. It's a top signal, but."
Mm.
Like,
Yeah.
it's
I
like,
mean,
I'm gonna stay though.
mate, I remember lying in bed when Trump coin launched, and I was like watching like if you go on down. Oh, I nearly mentioned the name of that coin. If you look at the chart of that coin, there is like a candle from I don't even know what mil, but like maybe 16 mil all the way to like 3 mil. And I was like in bed. My missus was sat next to me, and I'm like watching my phone, like my Phantom wallet, and it's just like depleting, like going down. And I'm like, oh my God, I've done it again. I have done it again. So I just like turned my phone off. Luckily, I woke up in the morning and it was pretty much, it recovered to kind of back where it was. But at that time, again, it should have been so obvious that Trump launched a coin. Is, you know, Melania, however you pronounce it, she launched a coin. Like that was the exit signal, wasn't it? Really?
Man, I mean, like, there was looking back, there was so many signals. We saw
Yeah.
the TikTok guys,
Mm,
we saw the Gen Z starting to pick it up.
yeah.
And I'm just like, man, this is all top signals, but I
It
guess
keeps you coming back though. It keeps you coming
yeah.
back. Like the addiction is so real, and the addiction, I think, as well for me, like especially when you're winning with a group of people that like as silly as it sounds, and you guys and your audience will understand this because we're all living the same life, but like your online friends that you've made, like you care for those guys a lot. Like you spend a lot of time speaking to them, a lot of time doing research, a lot of time bouncing ideas off each other, and like if you're all in on the same coin, like that addiction of you and all of the people that you like care about, that you like, that you want to win, all them winning as well, there's nothing better, you know. There's the reason why all those memes exist of all the guys like hugging each other with the green candles behind them, you know, like
Yeah.
it's an addiction.
Yeah, it's all dopamine, man, at the end of the day. It's all
Mm,
dopamine. Um, I mean, I guess the question I had was kind of going back to our discussion, like kind of where we were in time. You're now coming on to Solana.
Yeah,
You're going through Q4, Q1. You're
yeah.
enjoying yourself. What were some of the biggest gains you enjoyed from Q4? Just to
Oh,
reminisce for a sec.
yeah. Oh man. Well, the coin that shall not be named. I think it was like December 23rd or something last year, so nearly a year ago. That I full ported at that time a very small portfolio into that coin, and I think it was maybe 100 to 200k at the time, and it ran to 20 mil. And I had, I don't know, maybe 7-8 million tokens or something. So that was like $100,000 worth right there.
Sheesh.
I hasten to add, I didn't cash all of that out because it's crypto, and why would you take all life changing money? Why would you do that? Um,
Right.
you know, yeah. Why would you take life changing money and never come back? I can't. What was Sora as well? I think I put like crazy. I was telling the guys at work about this the other day because we were just talking about like insane fumbles. Put something like 4 grand into Sora when going to bed. Woke up and it was 40k. I was like, what the hell
Dang,
has just happened? Just insane. Like, bring that back.
dude, please. I mean, I'm looking. Like, I remember for me, I got Griffane at 1 mil market cap
Oh my god.
in Q4. Like, and
Yeah.
honestly, bro, I didn't know what it was. I was also what I was trying to do was, and I don't know if you did the same thing, probably not from what I'm hearing. I did
Mm,
both. I tried to do Solana and ETH. Like I
okay.
know I was trying to treat ETH like the utility chain,
Yeah. Yeah.
like where all the value is being created, and then Solana just to kind of like gamble high risk
Yeah.
bets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it worked out because I caught Popcat at 1 mil.
Oh man.
Um,
Yeah.
I caught I caught like when Lock In and some of these others like were at like 4 mil went to 90. So like
Dude, lock in. God, like honestly, like I know we have everyone says like I saw that at like whatever market cap, and it means nothing because I didn't buy it. But like that's one of the ones that I even like. That meme is awesome, and I saw it
yeah.
low, and I'm like, oh God, I wish was clever enough to buy stuff like that. You know?
And I guess for me, like I've been having this thought, and maybe you had the same one about like the historical trends in crypto, like haven't really like held up at all. The
Mm,
historical trends, like the historical trend is, hey, when Bitcoin goes up, all altcoins go up, but that hasn't
yeah.
been the case, right?
No. Yeah.
Um, the historical trend has been, Bitcoin only makes an all-time high after the halving. We saw it happen
Mm,
before the halving.
yeah.
But like there's so many things that just kind of are historically just out of whack right now. And
Mm.
I wish coming into this space that I didn't take everyone's advice of altcoin season's coming, just like buy and
Yeah.
hold.
I gotta be honest, like one of the things that has really allowed me to do so well in the last 3 months in particular, like that is just changing my outlook on trading in general and just kind of running my own race. Before it's so easy to get involved in everyone else's decisions, and people are posting stuff trying to trying to boost their own following, trying to build their profile, build their brand, and all that sort of stuff. So there's a lot of information out there to be digested every day, and we've all fallen into that trap of like selling because someone else sold, or following wallets and you see that wallet is sold, so you sell, and then it just all goes wrong. So I've made all those mistakes, and after getting slapped by the coin that shall not be named, I kind of just had this epiphany where I was like, what am I doing? Like, I had a bad feeling about it. I didn't act upon that. So I lost more money than I should. And I think that change in perspective and that change in attitude was like, you know what, from now on, I'm just going to do me. Like, I deleted all the wallets that I was following. I don't like copy trade anyone anymore. I had, spent a good amount of time, as everyone does on chain, like seeing transactions and been like, oh, I think that person. Then you go back through their feed, see what coins they're into. All of them match up on, the wallet that you're looking at, and then you like save that wallet address. And I've fallen victim to selling because that particular person sold and then missing out on tons of money. And I was like, what am I doing trying to copy someone else's thesis or conviction, and it just never seems to pan out so well. So that's sort of something I've learned in the last sort of 3 to 6 months in particular, is build your own conviction, run your own race, and I think that will pay off, or have a massive benefit for everyone.
Got it. So that was actually one of the questions I wanted to ask you. As we close out the year, what are some like kind of big things that you take away? So that
Um,
was one of them.
Yes, definitely. Running your own race, huge. Having a strategy. I don't know if you saw the what has boosted my following from a measly 1,000 to a ridiculous 2,000 recently is that sort of banking challenge that I started, where I was
Yeah,
just like
I
taking
saw
Sol out
that.
of the market. Yeah, taking Sol out of the market continually, and like I don't know, maybe when Sol was around 200, my average banking of Sol was probably around 200. Managed to bank 250 Sol within 6 weeks, I think, which is good going. But it profit taking, man. Like it's so silly and it sounds so obvious, but like no one takes enough profit, and no one um, has the ability, or not no one, but I think we all get caught up with what happens if this coin keeps running. You know,
Right.
and I've learned a lot about myself in the last sort of 3 months, that actually I've kind of realized that because of my personal situation, the fact that I've got kids, I'm like 40, or like 39, nearly 40. I've got kids, I've got a full-time job. Like what is important for me is earning money that can be put back into my kids and my family, right? If I keep looking at money disappearing and slipping through my fingers, I'm not doing a particularly good job of what I'm here for. We're all here to make money, right? So for me, I've realized that actually what I'm pretty good at is finding decently low cap market, decently low market cap coins, holding on to them for the initial run, and then selling. Yes, I may miss out on future gains. Like THRT is the perfect example of that. I messed up that trade a little bit, but it's not a problem because I made a good amount of money from it. It could have been so much more, but I think what I've realized as I'm good at is having that realization that it is okay to miss out on a crazy amount of money for consistently good gains.
And I guess that's one of the things I wanted to just walk through as well. Is just first just kind of give the audience a little backstory about this banking strategy, and
Yes.
kind of how that's shaped how you approach markets now.
Yeah, so the after again the coin that won't be named, after that screwed everyone and friends, and everyone was kind of low after that. I was like, all right, like I can't have conviction in coins anymore. I don't trust the Solana traders to hold anything anymore, and that is obvious because no one does. I don't trust devs to follow through on what they're saying, because how can we trust just a face behind a screen when we don't know who they are, we don't know what their intentions are? So I was like, okay, like my new thing is I'm just going to start banking Sol, like 1 Sol a day, and it was Market Watcher, watching markets. That guy often says like things along the lines of like, it's just really important to continue banking Sol. If you make 2 grand, um, you should bank 1,500 of it, keep the 500 that's left, and trade that 500. And you're just trying to improve your life by removing money from the market. So I think it was kind of August time. I was speaking to, a couple of the guys that are probably listening now, like Cabra, like Franz, all those guys. I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm done with holding anymore. Like, I'm just going to take a trade, sell, move on, and just see what I can see what happens. And I think the first sort of 5 or 6 days, I was like, I just wanted to make 1 Sol a day. I know that sounds ridiculous, but I think 1 Sol a day at an average of $200 is $64,000 a year. So if you look at it like that, can I make $200 a day in the majority of markets? The answer is probably yes, I can, because there's enough opportunities out there to do that, right? So it started off as that, just I'm going to keep banking Sol. I'm just going to keep trying to earn that 1 Sol a day. And I was super strict. Like there was a day where I think I made that 1 Sol. I bought a coin the night before, woke up, saw 1 Sol game, sold it. Like by 8:30 a.m. I'd made the 1 Sol. I just kind of logged off for the day. I was like, cool, okay, that feels good. Like I don't have to worry for the rest of the day about, making money or trading or anything. And then it kind of spiraled. Like I was just banking Sol like a madman. Like I don't know, I just hit some real nice trades, and everything just seemed to sort of come together quite nicely. I think, what was it, about 6 to 8 weeks ago, we had a nice run on chain, didn't we? Where there
Hmm.
was a lot of low cap tech that was like running quite nicely up into, maybe 1-2 mil. You were finding runners from 20K to 500K, so 10-20x's. And again, this kind of goes back to the networking stuff. Like, there's no way I could have done that without all of the guys that we trade with. Like, I don't have enough time to find these plays myself. I find plays, and do the research and write threads and do all that sort of stuff. But some of the guys that I follow and that we've got in the team, like, they're just like on another level of insanity. Like, I don't understand how they find these coins. Like Jason Bourne, Robin Hood, like Franz. Although Franz's streak's coming to an end now. Like, the guy's absolutely cooked. So we don't take his calls anymore. But all jokes aside, like, Franz came up with some crazy plays, and I'm lucky enough that those guys are happy to share them. And without that, you'd kind of be on your own and sort of floundering around. And again, I'm kind of getting off topic again, but yeah, like, it kind of boils down to the fact that every time I saw a gain that I thought was like profit, like worthy of selling, I was like, okay, like, I'm going to start selling it. And because of the nature of the market within the last sort of 6 to 8 weeks, so we had some good runners. Yeah, I went a bit crazy. And don't get me wrong, like, it was difficult. There was some points where I sold too much and banked too much, and I missed out on some pretty decent gains. Like, I think, do you remember Obex?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, dude, I missed hard on Obex.
Yeah, like, dude, I bought 2% of Obex, or maybe 3% of Obex at 20K. And it ran to like 300-400K, and I was like, sweet, like, sold the whole lot. And then, no, was it 300K, maybe like 200K, 250, something like that. I'll have to get the chart up. And then a couple of days later, it went to like 1.7 mil. And I'm like, oh, like, that could have been it. That could have been like the play, but it
The
wasn't.
make it
And
play. Yeah.
yeah, like, it wasn't. And you've just got to be okay with that. Stop worrying about it. Like, every day there are different runners. You pick yourself up, you go again, you find another coin, and you just keep moving on. So I think I came out of that Obex trade with maybe like 3 or 4 grand. And that was where I was like, okay, like, as a trader, do I need 4 grand to trade with? The answer for me is no, I don't. Like, good enough gains can be made with $500-600. So I just banked the rest of that. And that's kind of one of the things that I have been really good at, and I think is really important for other people to realize, is like, you don't need to like have crazy size. And when I was thinking about this interview earlier on, I think that's an important note, is something I've realized over time, particularly because we're all sort of around chasing these like low cap tech coins at the moment. I think that's where like the majority of gains have been made. If you size into heavy anyway, like, you just drop 1,000 in, people are going to sell on you immediately.
Yep.
Like, they just sell that candle, so then you're already down. And it was actually one of the strategies that Franz introduced me to. I remember speaking to him again, like, it goes back to this network thing. Like, I messaged him, Franz, like, speaking to him, like, mate, like, I'm having a nightmare at the moment, not making any money. Like, what am I doing? Because, all jokes aside, that guy has been early to a lot of narratives. So if there's anyone out here that's not following him, like, the dude is just cracked out of his mind. Like, he got into all the ICM stuff early, so he kind of taught me this way of, like, on every single green candle, every time something just pumps a little bit, just scrape a little bit off the top. And I guess this is, in a roundabout way, I missed this this tactic that Franz told me about. So let's say you've got a coin that's, I don't know, 20, 30, 40K market cap, and you buy 1 sol's worth, and you get 1% of the supply, right? On If it pumps to like 40-50K, like, just clip 0.1 sol. And then if you feel like it's still going to move and it goes to like 60 or 70, clip another 0.1 sol. And that particular tactic is what's really made the difference. Is just, you've always got money to play with. You've always got a little bit of like sol in the bank, because you're always scraping off the top. And then eventually, for me, it got to the point where I'd scraped so much off, there wasn't any left. I was like, oh, they've only got $200 worth of that coin now. Great, I'll close the position. And then before you know it, you've made a good amount of gains on the way up on a run. You've closed the position and you've moved on.
So, what kind of difference has this banking strategy like made? I want to ask you how much money you've made, but I mean, what kind of a difference has it made
Um,
for you?
I think it's been really important in making me realize that taking, it sounds so silly, but like it's so simple. Taking profit and closing positions is okay. And that has made a big difference in that. Like, if I see a gain now where I'm like, I think before, and I think we've all been led down this, like, led into this place with trading on Sol, with following all of these like insane traders on X that maybe they fake their profit and loss. I don't know. It's not something that I've thought about myself. But I think sorry, my kids were just trying to come into the bedroom there, so I got totally distracted and knocked me off my thought train.
No, no, you're
Oh man,
good.
what was I
You're good.
saying? So yeah, like because we've been led down this place where we think like crazy profit and loss are the only thing that we can trade and the only sort of like avenue we can go down. Like, remembering that $1,000 as a gain is actually really, really good, is really important. Like this whole banking challenge has made me realize that like if I see $1,000 plus, I'm like, who am I not to take profit on $1,000? Like, that's a lot of money for me. It's a lot of money for anyone. I don't care who you are. $1,000 is a lot of money. Like, don't be scared to take that, and don't be scared to bank it, and don't be scared to miss out on future gains for money now that's there and it's achievable.
Yeah, that's a big area for me. Going through 2025 and going through these markets, I've had so many gains, man, that personally for me though is more like I felt bad selling because sometimes you talk about something on the timeline, and so
Mm,
maybe you kind of just feel bad kind of like selling a little bit after. It's not
yeah.
like you're going from tweet and then 2 minutes later, but a week later,
Mm,
2 weeks later, like it starts to run, and I'm like, I'm like, nah, like I don't want to sell, like I kind of want to. It's for me that side of it, and to be honest, it's something that I gotta get over. Like,
mate,
I realize that.
I've realized as well, I am terrible, absolutely terrible at seeing gains slip away. So even if it's on the first portion of a run, like Obex would be the perfect example on that chart. Like, it ran from 20k up to 200k or whatever. I sold the majority, maybe 90% on the way up. And then in Axiom, I'm like looking at my like overall profit and loss, like kind of like
Mhm.
gradually moving down. And I'm like, oh my God, like I hate that. I don't want to see my profit and loss like start to diminish. So I prefer to just sell it and just be like, okay, great, I made like my
Right.
3k. I don't like it to go down, and I think that's all right. I think that's what weirdly I get not tons of DMs, but what's been really nice is because of this banking challenge and reminding people to like, it's okay to take profit, it's okay to, $500 is a lot of money, like it's okay to sell that, like live to fight another day, as opposed to being frustrated at missing out on gains. I've got tons of DMs where people are like, mate, like because of this banking strategy I started it as well, and I started off by doing banking zero point 0.2 sol a day, and now I'm up to maybe like 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 grand that I've banked. And it's like insane that you can inspire people to do the same thing.
Wow, that's actually really powerful. It reminds me of
Yeah.
like in the stock market, when they say like if you make 1% a day, over a year, you can go from this many to this much to this much. I don't know if you're
Yeah,
familiar with that.
I'm not familiar with that saying, but I get the precedent that it's setting is like, stacking these small wins, stacking three, four, five, $600 wins constantly. Like, I think at one point my win rate on my wallet was at something like 57, 58%. And that's something that I'm massively proud of. And I think that is because I obviously traded the right coins, traded the right charts, but I took the money when it was on the table, and that's something that has really been that I've really learned from that challenge. Is when you see something that you personally don't worry about anyone else, what anyone else is making or anyone else needs. If that money is something that is going to improve your personal situation and allows you to, come away from the day thinking, oh man, like, I've done really well today, then it's okay to take that profit.
And what you're saying kind of reminds me of what. So we have the owner of Left Curve Dow on,
Mm,
Jones Ryder, and
y-
he kind of said the same thing. He was like, when we see these, like, the numbers on the screen, we kind of lose connection with, like,
yes,
the
yeah.
value of that money. And I gotta say, man, like, dude, Q4, Q1, that was me. Like,
Yeah,
that was me. Like,
yeah.
I had, like, so we caught, like, I was just on a streak, man. I don't know how to
Mm,
describe it. I was just on a streak, as many people were. I mean, it was pretty easy to make money at that time. But, like, after I hit that first bit with Griffane, like, I hit a nice 50x, and then I just
yeah,
compounded and
yeah,
compounded
yeah,
and
yeah,
compounded. And, like, before, a $3,000 gain was like,
mm,
holy crap, wow, like,
yeah,
I can't believe that happened. But
yeah.
then, like, it turned into, like, it's just like 10K up. Like, I can go a little
Yeah,
bit more.
the
Like,
the
you
numbers
can,
get skewed so quickly, don't they?
yes,
They're just like, and that's what I think is really important to remind yourself of. Like, that's one thing that I kind of have discussed with friends in the past is like, I remind myself constantly, like, who am I not to take profit? Like, how dare you see 5 grand in front of you? Like, if someone came to you in the street like tomorrow and I said to you like, I'm going to swap you $5,000 for your $200 today, you would break their arm off for that deal. So why, when trading on chain, if you make that sort of money, why aren't we selling? You
yep,
know,
yep,
and that's what I have to
100%.
remind myself constantly is like, sometimes the opportunities are right in front of you and you have to take them.
Yeah, what Jones said was, he at one point in the interview, he was like, sometimes for us, we think, oh, let's just toss a soul at it. But, like,
Yeah,
at
yeah,
that time, like, soul was like 250, $300. He's
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah,
if you actually pull that out, that can make somebody's day. Like, you can
yeah,
do something meaningful with one
yeah,
soul,
yeah.
but half the time we just kind of like gamble it on chain, right? So
Mm,
yeah, I guess that's my big, like, one of my biggest takeaways, is just not losing the value of
yeah,
capital, but
yes,
also risk management.
yeah,
And what I found out about risk management is, like, people often view it as, like, only, like, eliminating downside, but really
hmm,
what risk management is the banking strategy. It's taking
yes,
profit. It's
it is,
taking
mate.
it's taking money off the table.
It's getting it out of this market as well. Like, I'm happy to tell people like I've screwed up hundreds of times, hundreds and hundreds of times, like by not taking any profit, by taking money out of the market, and then thinking like, I think PVS recently, like a good chunk of gains that I took out the market, I'm talking maybe like 3 or 4K, I put back in to PVS at like 6 mil and lost it all. It went down to like 3, and I was like, oh, and then I panic sold, and it was just this whole thing where I was like, oh my god, what am I doing? Like,
Yeah.
so now I've obviously got a new rule where I'm like, any money that comes out just never goes back in, and if I don't have enough money to trade with, I don't have enough money to trade with. Like, that's your own fault. Like, you better figure it out if you want some more money to trade with, because you're not taking it from your bank account, that's, what I mean, from the winnings you've already got.
Yeah. I guess one thing that I is similar to that I kind of told myself as a rule, coming into crypto, I came in, I bought the 2021 top I
Yeah.
saved up about like 15, 20 G's.
Mm,
And in 2022, that all went to zero, all of it.
mm,
And
yeah.
I was like, okay, obviously this is a market that I have no idea how to trade, apparently. So I
Mm,
told myself that I will never put IRL money into crypto. I will only take
yes.
money out of crypto.
Yes. Yeah. I think that's
And so any gains that I take out, I'm never putting back in. Even if my portfolio goes down to zero, like which it
yeah.
did in the bear market,
Yeah.
I I forced myself. And that, I guess that's kind of like going back to your earlier point of networking.
Mate, I think the teaching yourself that resiliency as well, and like kind of understanding that you don't need to be trading. Like, again, I'm happy to tell people at the moment, I think my portfolio is like 5 grand max. Like, I've got some DLLM in there and some other couple of bits and bobs, and I'm like, I don't need tons of money at the moment to trade, because number one, I'm not trading, and number two, like, the money that I've earn is so much more important out of the market. And if I want to earn more money, I'm just going to have to lock in harder with the few soul that I've got left, or I've got to sell some gains from coins that I'm already in to move over to something else. Like, you know, if we're as good as we think we are, 5 grand is more than enough money to kind of run it back up, so to speak,
Yeah. Yeah. Look,
And I think
I'm
that's, sorry, dude, go on.
no, finish your thought.
I was just going to say that I think that's something that a lot of people also kind of get caught up in, is they see those again. It's back to the profit and loss cards. They think that they need to drop 6 grand into a coin or whatever crazy numbers. They don't. You can make some serious money just with a couple of sol, and then
Yeah.
if it drops, just DCA in and stick to your conviction. I think moving away from that, or for a lot of the guys that are, that follow all of us on X, that are looking for calls, that are looking for things to do, we're probably all in the same position. Like, no one out here is trading with tons and tons of money. They We just need to kind of normalize the fact that it is okay to like get into a coin with a couple of sol to begin with. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to buy like 4%.
And you're right. I actually like I love what you said. If we think we're as good as we are, we can run it back up with 5K.
Absolutely, yeah. Like, people are quoting themselves on Twitter all the time, and posting on Twitter, on X or whatever. Like, I've made this, I've made that. Like, then we shouldn't be worried about having a small portfolio, because we can run it back up, and that's kind of where I'm at the moment. Like, 95% of my money is out of the market at the moment, and I've left myself like 5 grand. And if I think I'm as good as I am, then I'll do it again. It will happen. We'll just wait and see.
I wish I followed. I wish I followed that strategy. But one thing that I'm thinking about doing, and you're the first to hear about this,
Oh, cool.
um, trading challenge.
Ooh.
Early, like when the time is right. We got to time this the right way. Like, I don't think right now is the best time to start it,
Yeah.
honestly. And I want to ask you a little bit about your thoughts on like markets and like where we go from here
Mm,
with Bitcoin over the next few months,
cool.
and then into 2026. But I'm not. I think we take another stab at the lows, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that we're
Get the
ready for like a
BTC
full.
chart up.
Yeah, I don't think we're ready for. And yeah, we can pull your chart ups and everything, so we can show your screen if you want to.
I'm
Um,
on a tablet at the moment with my laptop separate, so it's probably best if you get the BTC chart up, mate. But I can
cool,
talk through it because I've got it here.
cool. Yeah, I can do that. I can do that. But yeah, I mean, I definitely want to start a trading challenge. And
Mm,
what I would love to do is I'd love to start it like at $1,000, like
okay.
$1,000. Start it, and like let's see how, like, maybe how quickly or how much we can run it up. That's the part. Like, I don't really know. Should we do a price target goal? Should we do a timed goal?
yeah,
But just kind of like, and then we bring the bros back on. We cover it live, what we've been trading, how
yeah,
much we're up. And I think that would be a really cool segment. It's something
yeah.
that
That would
I'm
be
gonna
very cool.
do. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I've
I'll be
done
into
it
that.
in the past, man, and it's honestly a great way to learn how to manage risk, how to approach
Mm.
markets, like how to trade. Um, but
I,
um,
th-
but yeah,
I think Elon. I listened to him in a podcast once when he was on. Elon Musk was on with Joe Rogan, and he said something about being wrong less, and that's something that resonated with me as well. And I think that works perfectly for trading. Like, you don't have to be right all the time. You just need to make less mistakes. And if you can like diminish those mistakes and reduce those mistakes, I think you'll see you such better gains and such more fruitful, like better trading,
yeah,
basically. Yeah.
yeah,
um and I think that's important, and that's something that I've really tried to do as well, is reduce stupid mistakes. Like, I think that goes back to sizing incorrectly as well. And I'm kind of going off on a tangent here, but with that, like the sort of strategy that Franz came up with, where I know he doesn't go and he doesn't like full clip into a coin. I know that for a fact because I've talked through it. The guy's made some like insane gains on coins in the past, and it's all because he DCA's in over a period of time, and it's gradual. And I think that's something else that people need to take from this, is like, if you go into a coin with 2 or 3 grand straight away, you're emotionally attached to that 2 or 3 grand much more than you are to one sol. And if you
wow,
start seeing that drop, you're going to do something stupid, which I used to do all the time. It's like, I need 2% of this coin. So I'm going to buy 2% now. And when it's down 20, 30%, I'm like, oh my God, like this isn't good. I'm down five, six, $700. And then I sell and then it starts moving back up. And I'm like, oh, like the mistakes because of emotions are amplified, you know. But if you just DCA in gently, one sol to begin with, and then, you know, 0 0.1, 0 0.2, 0 0.3 sol at a time, the emotional attachment to that money is much less, in my opinion. So it allows you to not make those mistakes.
Yeah, I guess that's one of the things we were talking about yesterday while I was on stream was um you don't like the more you look at the chart, and in this case, the more you size in like improperly, like it
Mm,
puts you at risk for being emotional. We all like to think that
yeah,
we're
yeah,
robotic traders that
yeah, and
we
yeah,
can
it's just not
manage
the
risk
truth.
and do yeah, and it's just not the truth. We're
Mm,
we're humans. We're emotional. At yeah, as and that's just our normal state. And so we have to be able to manage our emotions, but we put ourselves at risk of managing these trades with our emotions when you do some of these things. And
yeah,
honestly, that's what a big lesson that I had to learn, because that was
yeah.
me, man. Like, and I I would say that it didn't really like I didn't really get affected by the P&L, but I was
Mm.
definitely watching. It made me watch the chart more, and that's where I messed up.
Yeah, and that's when you're spending your day worrying about like a chart, like the rest of your life gets put on hold, you know, and
Yeah,
there's a big wide world out there and we don't want to spend it like waste all our time looking at a computer or a phone constantly. Like don't get me wrong, I'm guilty of that, but I'm trying not to be. And I think that all comes down to that risk management and you know, entering into coins slowly, not clipping in. And weirdly enough, like this was something I was thinking about today as well. Like, you know, everyone speaks to like multiple people in DMs, and there's a young guy that like messaging me. He's from the UK. I think he's like 17. This guy Lance on X, and he tells me about he's got a tactic. If he is in a coin and he sees someone like ape into it with 2 or 3K, and it's just one wallet and it pumps the price, he just full clips it out because he's like, well, that's not got any sustained pump behind it. The sustained buy pressure won't be there. Like it will drop.
right,
So immediately that person that's clicked in that 4K is now like they're already on the back foot, and if that is you, you're going to then make a stupid mistake after that. And I think even like, you know, everyone's learning from everyone all the time, and that kind of opened my eyes to it, like, okay, like, yeah, I don't want to be clipping into coins because some people use that as a tactic, you know, they sell into that
right,
volume.
right. So we talked about a lot here so far. So
Mm,
just for the audience, if you guys are recently joining us, we've talked about strategies such as like DCAing in slowly, not like
yeah.
sizing in with
Hmm.
thousands at first,
Yeah,
or with big size all in one go. But DCAing is important. Taking profit
absolutely.
is important.
Yeah,
The big part of the segment that I liked was banking soul.
yeah.
Some people have made tens of thousands just stacking small wins
Hmm.
over time. Anything else that I missed?
No, not really. I guess, yeah, I think that's pretty much everything, mate. Yeah.
So with all of that said, I guess the next best thing is, what are you trading now? Like I know you mentioned that you're on a break. Like what's the approach to markets now? What's the strategy? When will you get back in? All that good stuff.
Well, the, at the moment, I am just sat on a couple of coins, one of which you have had them on here a few times is DLMM. Everyone that follows me on X probably understands how bullish I am on those guys and Slabs and the whole
Mhm.
team. So I'm just sat on a pretty sizable bag of that at the moment, and some OneDev, QNet, the guy that's making the solo dev, attempting to create a blockchain on his own. That's you go. I think testnet goes live soon, so I'm just sat on those at the moment, and I'm kind of trying a new tactic. And I think this is something else that I'm lucky that I'm in the position because I've banked all this sol, and I've kind of, for me, my 2025 trading journey, let's say, has been a success. Like it's a tick in the book, like it's done, you know.
Yeah.
So now I'm just kind of trying new things. So I'm never usually that great at holding for an extended period of time. Like there's some guys out there that are just absolute like stone cold, like will hold from the very bottom to the very top, make tons of money and move on. Like I'm not good at that. But what I'm trying this time is okay, I'll pick up a bag of something I've got utmost confidence in, and I'm just going to sit on that and hold it. So at the moment, I'm trying not to just to make any other trades really. If I see, if I maybe get a tip off that they feel like something is pretty good and it's going to run, then great, I'll jump on it. But I'm just kind of waiting for the market to turn around. I just don't really like where we are at the moment. And this is something I was discussing with Franz and Cabra and and stuff the other day. It's like, I do really feel like we're in a place where we're just a small pool of traders in tech coins and we're just dumping on each other at the moment. And I'm just a little bit bored of that. So I just need to see, basically it's just some runners. Maybe a new meta would help, something that's got some life behind it. I know ICM obviously was a big thing that kind of seems to have died off. And God knows what's going to happen with Bitcoin, because I'm just looking at the chart here, and on the daily it just looks like a massive head and shoulders is being created. So yeah.
I'm so happy you said that, because I put out a post yesterday that I was like, I don't know how to feel about this. But
Mm.
let me share my screen here real quick. And this is the post here. Like,
Yeah,
I literally
yeah,
saw this and I'm like,
yeah,
okay. And
yeah.
even though we see a pump today, like I was just sharing this on the stream just a moment
Mm.
ago. I'll share this chart. Like, I'm like, yeah, we broke out of the downtrend, but we're still in this like bear flag
Yeah, it doesn't
sort
look
of
great.
area. So and it's we're coming off the bottom, and I was looking at this part of the chart over here, because like on this, if we look on the 3 day, we've been in here before. We've been
That
here since.
that is the chart I'm looking at right now, and where you've just started, that looks like the beginning of a left shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder, like a huge one on the daily, doesn't it? That on the 3 day.
Oh
Sorry, I can see that.
shoot.
Look how massive that is.
You're absolutely right. Okay,
Like
I hope.
that's what I'm seeing, and that's
Yeah,
terrifying.
I really hope that doesn't play out. I was
Mm,
talking about this, I believe it was yesterday, because I'm looking at the price action over here, and then I
mm,
go over here, and I'm like, I need this price action where it's like fat
yeah,
candles,
yeah,
consolidate, fat candles,
hmm,
consolidate. But like over here, it's like it's choppy, man. Like,
yeah.
dips are getting eaten and stuff like that, but it's not what you want to see for like a full-on recovery.
No, like,
So that's why I just think this is going to be what plays out over
okay,
the next.
cool, interesting.
That would be my ideal. Like, we break out of this.
Mm,
Perhaps we see 100K, maybe even less. Honestly, with
mm,
with the downtrend, I think with the head and shoulders that we're in, I think 100K is like the top.
yeah,
90, 96, 97K, something like that. But
mm,
we see some sort of like rally here, but then we
hmm,
just dump it all, man. We dump it all to
yeah,
close out the month. And
yeah.
then we may consider, rallying after that. But I really think this market recovers in February, to be
Okay.
honest.
My
That's the part that
biggest
I'm looking at.
my biggest criticism of myself is when I chart stuff, like I know I'm overly biased to a bearish chart because I've just got a negative outlook. I've been hurt so many times before. I'm like, oh God, this
Yeah.
looks terrible. Like it looks terrible. There's no way it's going to do well. So yeah, I don't know. For Bitcoin, I'm leaning bearish, but if I'm honest, I have never been great at predicting stuff that's going on with Bitcoin. I don't know if you're familiar with a guy on YouTube. He's called Skinny Moon Hunter, and he's only
No.
maybe got like 3 or 4 thousand subs. The guy is like a charting wizard. He's just like, he does live charts, or maybe charts every 2 or 3 times a week, like top 10 cryptos, top 20, and just goes through each one. And I learned so much from him. And I don't know if you use the 314 EMA at all. I know that's a crazy number,
Hmm.
but I really like the 314 EMA, particularly for Bitcoin and Ethereum and these coins that we've got tons of data for. But obviously 314 is pi, um, and if you enter the 314 EMA into the daily, like it gives you this crazy read on the chart. Like that guy Skinny Moon Hunter is where I got it from, and unfortunately Bitcoin is below the 314 EMA at the moment, and that traditionally, if you go back in time, anything above the 314 EMA, it looks great. Like Bitcoin bounces off it so much on the way up, but we have crossed underneath it.
So how do I put the 314
So if you
on
go
the chart?
into it's going to be in EMA, so indicators EMA.
I got a few EMAs already. Which
So
one?
yeah, moving average exponential will be the one, mate. So you're
Got
just on it there. Yeah, that's it. If you put that on and then change from 9 to 314 in input, the length, that's it. And if you kind of zoom out on the daily, that 314, keep going, like give yourself loads of data. That 314 is super interesting. Every time it goes above it, Bitcoin pops, it's like really good. And then it's been teasing to drop below it a few times. You see it's bounced off it a couple of times. And I
Yeah.
think that is something that I'm kind of looking at as well, is that 314 is we are now below it. And traditionally, if we break that far below it, I think it bounces off that and comes back down. And it uses that 314 as resistance. And I know it's crazy and it's just an
Yeah.
arbitrary number, but like the link between pi and charts and all that, and I'm kind of going a little bit off topic here, is like I just feel like that's, we use, I don't know, 921, all these different EMAs, they just feel like a little bit
Mhm.
arbitrary to me. Like 314 has got so many links into everything, like the cyclical nature of pi and all that malarkey. Like I really like it as an indicator, and unfortunately right now we're below it, and it just worries me a little bit, because if you go back to like the last cycle on Bitcoin and look when Bitcoin broke below the 314, it was like curtains,
Yeah. So you're basically saying we're we're
If
kind
you
of
look
here
at
on
that,
it.
yeah, that exact area you've just highlighted feels very familiar.
Yeah. And you know what? Sometimes, like, I actually do I XB by any chance on
Sorry, I
on
lost you
Twitter.
there, mate. You broke up.
Oh, do you know Honey XBT on Twitter?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
So she actually has a very similar outlook herself.
Okay.
As you can see, like
Oh, right. Okay.
right
Yeah.
to exactly where we drew off. She's kind
Interesting.
of thinking,
Yeah.
okay, well maybe we pump back into this EMA
Mm,
and then we just completely sell it off and GG's
yeah.
to 2026.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
I'm getting the sense that that's like the consensus view at this point.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, I'd love that if we go against consensus, that would be amazing. If one of my biggest criticisms of myself is I say I'm like quite bearish when it comes to looking at Bitcoin charts, particularly with the use of that 314 EMA. But yeah, wouldn't it be lovely if we just went against what everyone is expecting and ran to a new all-time high in early 2026?
Yeah. Yeah.
In your
I
opinion, though,
yeah.
sorry, mate, I was going to say, is that enough to bring people back to on-chain? Is 140k BTC enough?
You're gonna think you're gonna think I'm a crazy person for this.
Okay.
But I'm gonna zoom out on my chart here. Let me see if I still even I'm pretty sure I still have it. No, I don't have it on this chart. Um, but I had like all my on the stream, like we've talked about this many times. I'm
Mm,
200k, bro. I'm 200k plus. So let me
damn. All
live
right.
on. I know
Yeah,
you're. I'm like, dude.
I'm
I
with you.
know you're
Let's
gonna
go.
think, and you're gonna tell me I'm even crazier because my time frame here would be like May 2026.
Mm.
Yeah, May
I mean,
2026 for the
I would
200k.
love that. I hope you're right. I really do. That's all I want. I've just noticed one of Franz's comments as well down here that he says Bones is 95% out the market now. He's bearish. Thanks, mate.
Bonds he's like being your biggest supporter, but biggest critic
Yeah,
in the comments.
yeah. I think he loves giving me some hassle online. I think is the polite way to say it.
No, dude, that's you need that. It keeps you humble. It keeps you
Yeah,
humble.
absolutely, absolutely.
But yeah, man, look, it's been a great interview here so far.
Yeah,
I mean, I know you're out of the markets now. What would
yes.
get you back in trading, man? Anything in particular that you're looking for?
If all of you guys start making money and I'm missing out and I'm coming back, I don't think it's not something I don't really know, mate. Like I'm not out like I'm absolutely not going to trade anymore. What I have been doing actually has been setting up some farming strategies in the last couple of days. I know you mentioned it a few weeks ago, farm tardio or whatever.
Mhm.
I actually kind of I've never done any farming before, and I've just used that to kind of set up a few farming strategies to see if we can get any payouts in 2026. But in terms of like what will bring me back, I guess some good strength from Bitcoin. Any break above for me that 314 EMA to that where we said we felt like Bitcoin may collapse. We're coming off that EMA. If we can get above that and we
Mhm.
can hold it, and we have some good closes above the 314, and it looks like it's going to continue, then I'm going to be pretty bullish. And if that kind of coincides with your sort of thesis of early 2026, and we get something towards 200, then yeah, I mean, I'll be all in trying to bank some more Sol.
Yeah, I think I have a feeling that I'll probably be off on the timing front, but
Mm,
I'm really we've been looking at this the last couple of weeks just about, and I might put out like a post about this at some point, but um a lot like the 4 year cycle to me
mm.
is dead,
Yes, I
and
agree with
what
that.
we have to do is prove that wrong. So
Yeah.
to bring euphoria back into the market in a meaningful way, we need one, a narrative to
Hmm.
pump that forward. I think that narrative is going to be like ownership coins, ICM tokens,
Yeah.
AI. Like that's
Yeah.
going to be like, and of course, memes are still going to be there. Degens are going to degen always.
Yeah.
Um, but like that's from a narrative side. From a price side, what we need is to, in my opinion, is for us to prove the 4 year cycle wrong. So if we go up, if we go here, we do as Honey XBT says, and we like
Hmm.
basically, I'll go back up to the 3 day on the Bitcoin chart, and we basically pull a move like this, where we test the 314 right
Yeah.
on the daily. We test it one more time, and then we sell off.
Mm.
If we can test it, but let's say this is the let's say this is the line here. We test it, but then we break above it, hold, and then go.
Yeah.
In my opinion,
Yeah.
that would
That.
make a lot of people
Yeah.
question.
Yeah. I mean, that would be insane. You can see it on the 314, and I don't want to keep banging on about this particular EMA. There's been a couple of times where it has tested dropping through and it's come back up, but they're
Mhm.
only real small, like drops below it. This one is quite significant, and that's my only concern. And Franz is right. I don't want anyone to make any more money because I'm just bearish.
You know what? Like at
No,
the end of the day, I want to buy these dips, man. Like so,
yeah.
if we if we end up going like we retest these, we sell off into this bear flag, we retest these lows, we
Mm,
come up, and then we go again, like I'm gonna be a buyer
yeah.
like all throughout here. And
Yeah.
honestly, I'm with you. DLMM is like one of my like, I love what they're doing. I knew from the
Yeah.
moment I looked at it, I'm like, this is gonna
Yes.
cook,
Yeah.
but this is gonna be a slow cook. So I have
Yeah.
time
That's
to
I
accumulate.
don't know. Otter, Finance Otter, on X again. The guy's got, I don't know, like 190 followers, but the dude is absolutely locked in. He was the guy that told me about it originally, and I think it was um, the first spaces they held that I listened to. I remember being at the gym and I thought, oh, I'll just put it on and like listen to this. And I thought I heard Slab speak about the coin and like just the numbers. And I was like, it sounds like a stocks earning call. Like the guy
Yeah.
knows his stuff, you know? Anyway, Otto was basically saying a couple of days ago when I was speaking to about it, he's like, yeah, I'm happy to hold this for a few years. Like it might take that long. And this is going to be my first test of that theory. Like I have never held a coin that long. Let's see what happens if I do, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And honestly, the market really hasn't given you a reason to hold these coins that
No,
long, right? Like at the end of
no.
the day, if you held Popcat or if you held Ondo or like from anything from it could be a meme, it could be a utility token. Tau, for
Mm,
example, is like down massively. And I
yes.
think I
Yeah.
got that. I can pull that chart up just for an example. But you look at Tau on the weekly and you realize, you know,
Whoa.
it got its massive
Yeah.
run, but it never
Yeah.
really recovered from that, right? Like
No.
we're down what, like 70%,
Mm,
60% from the highs.
yeah.
So
It's going to take some sort of resurgence of AI as a narrative to really pump these. The thing is, mate, I mean, again, I know that we're in a bit of an echo chamber on Sol, but I'm like, who's trading these coins still? You know, who's, and
yeah,
obviously a lot of people are because, you know, there's, but I don't see, from my personal opinion, just the appetite for those older coins, and that is probably a huge failing on my part as a trader because there's definitely money to be made there. But you know, when you've got such a finite amount of time, like I'm kind of happy trading on Sol. Obviously, it's not the best condition right now, but um, for the for me, the best releases, the best tech, the most interesting things do usually get released on Sol at the moment. Um, so, I mean, I used
yeah.
to hold tons of dot, tons of near, like just long term holds that just got absolutely tanked into the ground. And go back to what Judge, when he was like, mate, we're moving to Sol, I just sold them all and just took a bit of a leap of faith, converted everything to Sol there. Yeah, the near chart, my goodness.
I mean, we're in this little consolidation like with
Yeah.
near, but man, this thing like you held these
Yeah.
and
I,
you're
well,
you're down
it,
90%. Holy crap.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. Like the thing is, even before coming on to Sol, like I was like really into the dot ecosystem. I was like, you know, Gavin Wood, like this guy's onto something. He's creating like a really cool coin here, and I was um, doing all sorts of like borrowing and lending on Polkadot in these different, like I think it was called Bifrost or something like that, and just the value of dot just never picked up. And again, I think it's because I think it's an inflationary token, so they're just always printing dot. I don't know
No
if that's
way.
changed recent. Yeah, it's like,
Seriously?
yeah, I think
On
it started
average.
off as like a billion, and now it's up to like 1.2, 1.4. Again, don't quote me on those numbers. That's just off the top of my head, but I think it's inflationary. I don't know whether recently they've had a vote to change that, but while I was holding it, that was like the biggest issue. Is like it's inflationary, which kind of goes against everything that everyone in crypto stands for.
Yeah,
Um,
100%. The other thing I wanted to ask you about, so we got a sense of your strategy. We got a sense of kind of, you know, why you're kind of taking a break from markets, which
yeah,
many traders are right now. And it's
yeah.
probably a good idea for most of us because, you know, when markets actually do pick up, we'll be wanting a break. But and so we want to make sure we're not burnt out when
Yeah, yeah,
when this thing gets
absolutely.
started.
Yeah,
So we went through a lot of those things. What are you trading on? You mentioned you use Axiom, was it?
yeah. I actually moved to Axiom. I was just before that. I was just on Phantom, using Jupiter, just trading on that, and then I realized like I saw lots of people using Axiom and these trading platforms, and although the fees are a little bit higher and they kind of do they that is potentially quite costly. Um, just having that visual for me personally, the visual profit and loss in the green right next to your right next to your positions is what, again, I think has been really important, because that's allowed me to see live, like, okay, like I'm up maybe 5, 6, 700, 1K or whatever, like great, like I'll start skimming some profit off the top, whereas trading solely on Phantom through Jupiter or whatever, I never had that information available to me. So that has been had a positive impact moving to those platforms.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, I'm using Padre. I've been using Padre since they first came out. I was actually using them when they came out on ETH back
Mm,
like in 2020, like early 2024, I believe.
yeah.
Yeah, like I've been using like Padre for like a year and a half now.
How'd you find
Um,
it?
Not gonna lie, I've always loved it a little bit more than Axiom.
Okay.
But I haven't used Axiom at the same time. So my
Yeah.
perspective on Axiom isn't the best. But
Mm,
basically, they have like the similar things that Axiom has, right? Like your watch list, your limit orders and stuff like that. They have like the trenches, which I think you guys call it meme scope.
yeah.
But like they have that. But what I really like is they have this. They've been coming out with like cool updates. So like they have like you can get pinged for anything. Like even during our call, like I get pinged when there are new launches. I get
All
pinged
right.
when
Okay.
there's stuff that hits my buy zone. You can like set
Mm,
an alert and it'll alert you on Telegram when a buy zone is hit. Um, or there's this thing called Market Lighthouse where it tells you about the total amount of trades, the total volume, tokens created, and it splits
yeah.
up volume by launch pad. So you can literally like come in and you can load up your Padre and you can look at like the Market Lighthouse and be like, all right, is today a good day or a bad day? And you can
Yeah.
measure that by how many tokens created, volume, etc.
Well, this is something that I do have an interest in as well. It's just unfortunate I don't have the time to commit to it right now. Is new launches and trading fibs on retracers.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you're familiar with Mike 9862 or something like that.
No,
Um,
I never heard of him.
I've retweeted or reposted in the last couple of days, so it'd be really easy to find on my profile. One of his posts. Basically, this guy is like, the dude is the goat. The app that he's got like 1,000 followers. No one knows who he is. Like I've been speaking to him in DMs for maybe a year or so, and there we go. This is the guy. Absolute, like, just number one, a genuinely good dude. Like, is happy to spend time in DMs speaking to anyone, showing you his strategy. He will give you all the information that he's got on his strategy. But what he does, he uses fibs on retraces and order blocks to play high volume coins. And he is just uber good at what he does. So I think that is a really good tactic and a really good way to make money in this market, is following volume on any coin, particularly on Sol, but it could be a meme, it could be tech, it could be anything. Like, this guy has got a tried and tested method. He is exceedingly good at it, and I think he's been working really hard to like fine tune his skills. But the guy is cracked out his mind.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
seeing. I also like using fibs on like memes or just anything with like on chain with high volume. Like
yeah,
the
yeah,
retrace on like we talked about this just yesterday on
yeah.
the six seven
This
chart.
is yeah, this is a tactic that Mike told me about a year ago. Like, again, takes a little bit more time because you need to be a lot more active to use it, but memes everything, like the bounce from the 0716, I believe it is it, or 786, sorry, the bounce from a
Yep.
786 on Sol is incredible. Like, it works a lot of the time, and if you can mix that with order blocks as well, like, there's definitely some money to be made there. And I think you've just got to be prepared to, again, take profit. If you see a quick double, like, take it, particularly in a market like this where it's difficult to trade. um I don't think Mike will mind me sort of talking him up, but he told me years ago that, like, I think his tactic is like basically making $500 a day. Like, he uses those fibs and those charts to do that, and I think once he's done that, he's done for the day. And I think
Nice.
he's pretty consistent with it. Um,
Yeah, I'm actually gonna I'm gonna follow him and I'm gonna add him to my list. Usually,
yeah,
like what I like to do is anytime I see like a new account, like I try not. I have this list here. I try not to like get too much above like 105, 110 because it becomes too
Yeah,
noisy. But like
yeah,
105 people, like I can follow them and kind of keep up with things.
yes, yeah, yeah.
And I'm gonna add him. I'm gonna
Yeah,
be watching his content.
he genuinely is a stand-up guy, and like he's taught me so much about like buying coins on retraces and stuff that it's a really useful tactic and something that I think everyone should um should use, should sort of look to add that to your arsenal, your trading strategy. I think one of the things that, if you don't mind me kind of going off on a tangent, that
Yeah.
me and myself and Em and Franz and stuff were talking about recently is the fact that I personally don't buy into the fact that technical analysis doesn't work on low cap meme coins or low cap coins on Sol anymore. And a few of the guys have heard me say this, but I liken it to Call of Duty. That back in COD 4 days, like
Hmm.
COD was maybe a bit easier, right? And like everyone was a bit younger and no one had been playing much. Now, if you go on COD, there's people like jumping around corners and doing all sorts of crazy stuff. Like the markets are, in my opinion, very similar to that. 5 years ago, or even 2 or 3 years ago, everyone was kind of new to it still. But right now, what people are doing, in my opinion, is they're trying to find an edge, right? And the edge is anything that they can do to help them earn money, they're going to do, aren't they? So things like technical analysis, fibs, all that, like I think they're a lot more reliable than they ever have been before because a lot more people are using them. A lot more people are setting limit orders based on all of this information. They're setting sell orders. So that naturally just increases naturally increases the level that people are trading at, if that makes sense.
No, actually, that makes a lot of sense. I've actually had the same thought because if we notice that in these markets, we also use like gamer like jargon, like even
Mm,
like look at this comment by friends, not even making calls anymore, just AFK. Like everyone
yeah,
uses AFK
yeah, away from keyboard. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah, right.
yeah,
And
yeah,
literally keyboard, right? So
yeah.
so yeah, a lot of times I think gamers and crypto traders like have a very similar
Mm,
mindset, mentality, or even just mental makeup to be able to manage markets. You kind of
yeah,
need to have like that gamer mentality. And
yeah.
I just find it interesting that you say that because I've also gotten the sense that as these trading terminals come out, as
Mm.
people use, like I know on
Yeah,
my trading terminal.
the
Yeah,
standard's just getting better. Like
yeah.
everyone is getting better. Like you have to be better. So you've got to use anything you can to try and give you that edge.
So what I've been doing is like just like I would use like on the Bitcoin chart, like order blocks and stuff like that. I've been
Mm,
experimenting with doing that like on chain. So like on the 2-day chart, like I have like
yeah,
these bullish and bearish order blocks
yeah.
um kind of
Again,
already.
that's what that Mike kind of is sort of into. I think he uses hourly order blocks or 15-minute order blocks to try and figure out where coins are going to land on retraces. So it's super similar stuff.
Yeah, he reminds me a lot of this other guy that I know, Donnie, that he's
Mm,
super like chartist and stuff like that. But for me, I've been honestly, it's different for every chart for me, depending on, like, I look at the 6-7 chart, and like I like to
mm,
chart stuff from a higher time frame going down to lower. So like
yeah,
I'll chart it on like a 12-hour, a 4-hour to get like structure, and then
yeah.
I'll go down to like an hourly, a 30-minute, a 15-minute to kind of eye entries, see where it is on the retrace, look for reversals. I remember
Okay,
Bones, bro.
cool.
You were calling falling wedges for the longest time, and
Yeah,
they always played
yeah.
out.
Mate, that
Literally
chart
because
pattern
of
has
you,
been,
I look for falling wedges.
mate, yeah, dude, that's a definite winner. I think for again, they play out because people see them, and they play out because people buy the bottom of a falling wedge because more people know what a falling wedge is, and it's the cyclical thing that we're in where the more people that know about it, the more people buy the bottom of it, which then in turn makes the price pump, etc., etc. But yeah, the falling wedge, another absolute banger.
Dude, that literally has been playing out on. I wonder if have you posted about falling wedges? I'm
I,
sure
I
I'm
I
sure you
I
have.
have a couple of like just sort of like tongue in cheek, like falling wedge guide, like for people complaining that certain plays haven't played out the way that they have. It's like, yeah, okay, you're like sometimes you have to wait. You know, the falling wedge isn't going to immediately like pop.
Falling wedge.
There you
Like
go. That's it. There she is.
dude, like
Yeah.
it's just been playing out so many times. And but yeah,
Mm,
like I agree with you. Trading terminals, chart patterns, like people try to find an edge, and they're gonna
yeah.
do that in whichever way they can. And the
Absolutely.
more people believe in the lines, the more the lines play out, right? Like
For sure, mate.
self-fulfilling
Yeah.
prophecy.
For sure.
So yeah, man. Look,
Chill.
it's been
I'm
a
so
great
sorry.
interview.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to shoot because my kids and
Yeah.
stuff are getting ready for bed. My wife just popped her head in, and I've been here. I really enjoyed it, mate. It's been great to chat. But yeah, I'm gonna have to shoot. I'm afraid.
No, 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 you're good. I was actually just about to wrap up. I think it's a
Awesome.
perfect place to stop here.
Yes, definitely.
We went through a ton. Any last words? Any
Oh,
last things that you want to leave the people with?
not particularly, mate. Just yeah, just get out there, and you got to try some things sometimes, haven't you, to succeed. And if it doesn't work out first time, just keep going. Don't stop. Basically.
Don't stop. Don't stop.
Yeah,
Well, look,
that's it.
Bones, appreciate you coming
Thank you
on to
very
the
much for
stream.
having
We'll
me. It's been
definitely have
brilliant,
to
mate.
have you back.
Yeah, love
Absolutely.
it.
Talk soon.
Awesome. Thank
We'll
you so
see you
much.
in the
Appreciate it,
chat.
mate. Yeah,
Yes,
nice one,
sir.
brother. Take care, mate.
Alrighty.
Bye, buddy. Thank